Children, here in this video we will learn about disease and hygiene. You already know that diseases can be categorized into two parts, the communicable diseases and the non-communicable diseases. Generally, all the dietary deficiency diseases come under the category of non-communicable diseases. In the word dietary itself, you can understand that if we do not take the proper nutrients in a proper amount, then we suffer from dietary deficiency disease. You have already studied about the vitamin deficiency diseases. Now let us learn about the protein deficiency diseases. Mainly there are two diseases which are caused because of the protein deficiency. One is the kwashiorkor disease and the other is the marasmus disease. A diet which lacks in the nutrients which is protein, as protein is required for the growth and repair of the body. So if you do not have protein in a proper amount in your diet, then the muscles will not grow properly, which will result in loss of body weight. This is kwashiorkor. Another disease is known as the marasmus, which is caused because of the deficiency of proteins, carbohydrates as well as fats. Small children generally between the age of 1 to 5 suffer from these two diseases. Next, let us learn about the mineral deficiency disease. There are certain minerals which are very essential for our body. Calcium for the growth of our bones, sodium and potassium to maintain the water balance in our body, iron, it is essential for our blood because hemoglobin, which is a protein, is present in blood and helps in the carrying of oxygen, and iodine also. So let us study about it in details. If we do not have calcium in proper amount in our diet, then our bones become weak and brittle. Even our teeth also become weak. The sources of this mineral are milk, eggs, green vegetables, etc. Sodium and potassium. Deficiency of this causes dehydration in our body. We have pain in muscles while contracting, that is, while moving your limbs, you might get pain and external weakness. Sources of sodium and potassium are fruits, seafood and the table salt that we have. Deficiency of iron causes a condition which is known as anemia. We must have green leafy vegetables, bananas, cereals, egg yolk and fruits like pomegranate and apple in our diet daily because this will prevent the condition anemia. If iodine, another mineral, is not taken in proper amount, the condition which results is known as goiter. You must have seen people whose throat becomes swollen up. So that condition is goiter. The thyroid glands which are present in our throat region becomes swollen. All sorts of seafood, table salt contain iodine. So, iodine, maybe in little amount, must be taken every day in our diet. Now let us study about certain diseases which are caused because of allergy, physical and chemical agents. You must have seen that when you go out on the streets, because of the dust, you start sneezing. It is caused because of allergy. Because our body cannot take foreign particles, so it becomes allergic to it. So, it is an unpredictable reaction of the body to a particular substance. These substances like the pollen grains, termites, milk, eggs, even brinjal also, dust particles, pets, they all have certain substances which we might be allergic to. So these substances are known as allergen. Different people are allergic to different substances. Some of the common allergens or substances which causes allergy are the dust particles, the spores, pollens of different flowers, certain types of clothes. There are certain medicines also to which we become allergic, and certain cosmetic products. Generally, you will find that allergies are happening on the skin and the respiratory tract. The digestive tracts are also sometimes affected. Asthma, eczema, diarrhea, vomiting, nausea, these are all allergic reactions. Diseases can be caused because of physical and chemical agents. Like sunburn and heat stroke, they are not caused because of any germs or any allergy. If you expose yourself too much into the sun, then you might get heat stroke or you might get sunburn. So these are all physical agents. And even chemical agents like mercury, lead, snake bites, different plants, poisoning from these plants can be caused because of certain chemicals which are present in it. Now let us study about certain communicable diseases. Here, diseases which are caused by viruses are explained. But before we study about these diseases, let us know what is a communicable disease. A disease which can spread from one person to the other is known as a communicable disease. So these communicable diseases are transferred from an infected person to a healthy person with the help of microorganisms or microbes. They are known as the pathogens. If you come into direct contact of an infected person, you might get transmitted. Or if you share or touch different items, personal items of an infected person, then you can get infected. Or if you drink contaminated water or eat food which are kept open on the streets, even then also you can be infected by certain diseases. So now let us study about these in details. Now diseases caused by the viruses. The common cold that you see, we sneeze or we have a runny nose. That is, water droplets are coming out when we are sneezing or coughing. So this common cold is caused because of a virus. So whenever we are coughing or we are sneezing, we must always have a handkerchief in front of our nose and mouth. So it will prevent the germs to spread into the atmosphere. Mumps. Mumps is also a disease which is caused by the virus. The symptom of this disease is painful swelling of the parotid gland. As you can see over here, children, the parotid glands are present near the jaw, the lower jaw part. So here, these parotid glands gets swollen up. Now, mumps can be transmitted from one person to the other by droplet infection or coming into direct contact with the person. That is, if you are using a personal product of this person, then you might also get infected by this disease. So, mump vaccines are available in the market, so it can be taken, as well as the patient must be kept in isolation. You must never go near these type of patients. Polio is again another disease which has been eradicated. Now here you can see that the limbs have not developed properly. So this is a condition which is known as poliomyelitis. Now the limbs and muscles get paralyzed. So the patient must be isolated and the feces must be disposed properly. Vaccines are available in the market and children are given doses of these vaccines regularly. So, to avoid polio, we must isolate the patient and take vaccines regularly. Even rabies, which is caused because of the bite of dogs. Now, if a mad dog or a cat or a bat bites a person, then the saliva of these animals enter into our body. So the condition here is known as hydrophobia, that is rabies. Immunization of the dogs and the other pets are essential to prevent this disease, as well as anti-rabies injections must be given to a patient after a bite. So children, you must be very careful because viruses causes different other diseases also, which you must be careful because they can be spread from one person to the other person very fast. As in the present scenario, you must have seen that the COVID-19 virus, it has spread throughout the world and has caused trouble and pain to so many people. The other certain diseases like smallpox, measles, jaundice or hepatitis are also caused because of viruses. Communicable diseases caused by the bacteria. There are certain bacteria which causes certain diseases like tuberculosis, diphtheria, tetanus, whooping cough, pneumonia, cholera, etc. Now, cholera can occur if you have contaminated food and water. The symptoms of this disease is vomiting and watery stool. That is, the feces become watery. You do not have a control over your feces. So, to avoid these conditions or to treat yourself, you must drink boiled water, waste must be disposed of properly, and vaccination of the person. Tetanus. Entry of germs into an open wound. It is always said that when you get an injury, you must always take a Tet-Vac injection. It is given to children or maybe to person also, different adult persons also, to avoid the condition or the disease tetanus. Because the germs, they enter through the open wound. Now the symptoms of this disease are the jaws, they lock due to the painful contractions of the jaw and the neck muscles. So anti-tetanus injections are given to prevent this disease and the wound must be cleaned and covered properly. Typhoid. Because of having contaminated food and water, a person suffers from typhoid. Because in typhoid you'll have continuous fever, you lose your appetite. So, drinking boiled water and having a medicine ampicillin can prevent you from this disease. So children, read these different types of diseases which are caused by bacteria, and we will discuss the other common diseases caused by protozoa and worms in the other class.